Did you know that the NBA has a long history of infidelity? From the time these NBA players tried to carry out an insurance fraud scam, to when one player's addiction led him to crash into a moving train. These are some unbelievable NBA secrets that were exposed. Let's start with the time Derrick Rose cheated on his SAT. So, back in 2008, Derrick Rose was a huge NBA player, the #1 pick in the NBA draft. Chicago was hyped, expecting him to be the next big thing. But to do that, he first needed to get into college. You usually need decent SAT scores, like hitting 400 in math and reading, or at least 37 on the ACG. Derrick was struggling with the ACG in Chicago and had already failed it 3 times. So he made a move. He sent someone to Detroit to take the SATs for him. And guess what? It worked. He was all set up to play for the Memphis Tigers, rocking his college career and leading his team to the NCAA Finals. But of course, the truth finally came out. The NCAA then stepped in to vacate Memphis's runner-up season in 2007 and 2008, removing all 38 wins. Derrick Rose did manage to get into the NBA, but Memphis still paid the price. And if you thought that was shocking, then you're not prepared for what this next NBA player did. Let's look at Eddie Griffin's wild ride, which met a tragic end. This former NBA player couldn't quite keep it together. Despite having the potential for a multi-million-dollar career, Griffin got tangled up with addiction. In 2006, things took a rough turn. Eddie was cruising in his Cadillac Escalade while he was high. He was also really drunk. Luckily, nobody got hurt in the crash. Now, you'd think someone in his shoes would consider rehab, right? But that's precisely what he didn't do. He thought he was completely fine. Fast forward to 2007, and tragedy strikes. Griffin met his end by crashing into a moving train, totally ignoring the warnings. This whole ordeal went down during the NBA offseason, putting an end to Griffin's NBA career, and more importantly, to his life. Griffin's actions might have had some serious consequences, but what about when the draft lottery ends up being rigged? Let's look at what went down with the Chris Paul trade of 2011. Back in 2011, there was a trade involving Chris Paul that NBA Commissioner David Stern vetoed. He was worried that teaming up Paul with Kobe Bryant would be too much for the Lakers, so he stopped the trade. That's when people started speculating that the NBA was controlling things behind the scenes. And here's another secret. Dikembe Mutombo accidentally spilled the news early on social media, congratulating the 76ers for their first pick. This got everyone wondering if the NBA draft lottery was rigged. But these rumors still weren't as bad as what the next group of players did. Did you know that these former NBA players carried out a $4 million healthcare fraud scheme? Back in 2021, NBC spilled the tea on a sneaky plan. There were 18 ex-players trying to get almost $4 million from a healthcare fraud scheme. They carried it out by claiming multiple players had the same dental work on the same teeth. And get this, 15 of them were already in trouble, facing charges like conspiracy to commit healthcare and wire fraud. There was even one player that was playing basketball in Taiwan while claiming to be getting a $14,000 root canal in Beverly Hills. Now that's multitasking. That got the NBA very suspicious. Then there's Terrence Williams, the guy behind the whole thing. He came up with fake invoices and claims, making $250,000 while pretending to be some planning agent. Williams even strong-armed other players into handing over cash. These 18 players ended up walking away with $2.5 million. And what about the NBA? Well, they weren't happy about any of this. They called the allegations particularly disheartening because the benefit plans are crucial for supporting players' health and well-being. That really sucks for the NBA. But this next player's got a special ability that helps him on the court. Ever heard that Kawhi Leonard's colossal hands aren't just a natural gift? His crazy skills on the basketball court are because of a secret. He's actually Terminator sent from the future. Leonard's hands are exactly like a machine's, giving him an edge on the court. Just kidding. He's actually got a rare condition called brachydactyly type D, which makes his middle finger shorter than his index and ring fingers. While this condition might make everyday tasks tough for some people, Kawhi uses it to get more slam dunks on the basketball court. His extraordinary hand gives him a tight grip on the ball, impeccable control while dribbling, and a ninja-like ability to snatch from opponents. But that's nothing compared to some of the secrets NBA players hide from their spouses. The NBA has a major history of infidelity. First up, we've got Tristan Thompson, making headlines on TMZ for more than just his skills on the court. This Cavaliers player became a regular feature for his romance with none other than Khloe Kardashian. But here's the thing, Tristan wasn't exactly Mr. Loyal. He played a 2-year game of deception, even during his girlfriend's pregnancy. The only thing he seemed committed to was giving his all for the Cavaliers. But Tristan doesn't stand alone in the land of infidelity. Meet Nick Young, a Lakers player in 2015, engaged to Australian sensation Iggy Azalea. Their glamorous love story took an unexpected turn when a video surfaced of Nick confessing for some serious cheating escapades. Iggy hit the brakes on their engagement, and even Nick's NBA journey hit a roadblock. Now, Tristan and Nick might have gotten away with their scandals, but let's look at what happened to this next player when his secret was revealed. It was pretty tragic. Let's go back to the 90s and talk about Magic Johnson's HIV situation. Magic, a basketball legend, got quickly pushed out of the NBA, leaving many questions. Turns out that he had lots of triple-doubles on and off the court. When his HIV status was revealed, it shocked the world, and players worried about facing him on the court. People were unsure about if the disease could spread. Spraying Magic's blood might affect another during a game. Now we know that isn't possible, but there's a lot of ignorance and discrimination at that time. Some NBA players supported Magic, while others had reservations. The league faced a tough choice. Magic and Jordan were iconic players, and losing one wasn't good for business. Still, in 1991, the NBA nudged Magic towards early retirement. He publicly stepped away to focus on battling HIV. This lack of awareness about HIV in the 90s led to a premature end of Magic Johnson's amazing basketball career. The NBA might have pushed Magic Johnson out, but there are some secrets they choose to ignore. Like this next one. Did you know that for decades, the NBA has turned a blind eye to players' substance abuse? In a 2018 interview, former Laker Matt Barnes reveals that he played his entire career under the influence of marijuana, and he even encouraged teammates to join him during smoke sessions. Oddly enough, the NBA kept Barnes' cannabis abuse quiet until his retirement. But the revelations don't stop there. Ex-Warrior Stephen Jackson and Hall of Famer Allen Iverson openly admitted to regular marijuana use during their NBA careers. Even with the league lifting the cannabis ban in 2023, it doesn't erase the fact that the NBA turned a blind eye to player substance abuse for decades. Post-retirement, former basketball player Ron Artest even admitted to sipping on Hennessy before and during games, keeping a bottle in his locker. Artest was known for his substance abuse, but the NBA doesn't test for alcohol, leaving us questioning why no one was held accountable for preventing such behavior. The league chose to keep his erratic drinking under wraps, continuing the trend of hiding the truth about players with substance abuse concerns. That's not the only way the NBA neglects players, though. Sometimes, they even choose not to help former basketball players who are struggling. In 2020, it was revealed that former NBA player Delonte West was living on the streets, sparking concern in the basketball community. Despite earning over $16 million in his career, West faced homelessness and severe mental illness. The NBA Players Association remained silent, and the league didn't provide assistance. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban intervened, but West declined the help, highlighting the need for a more compassionate approach to supporting former players in dire circumstances. Now, if you want to see what else NBA players get up to, make sure to click on the next video.